Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. It is Saturday morning, and have we had the close of a phenomenal precious metals week. Even though it came later in the week, it came kind of at a surprise. We've seen a lot of interesting numbers play out. They're trying to tell us the economy is running great, and I find it so comical. Because why would you cut interest rates if the economy is so great? But we're not going to talk too much about economy today. We're going to talk about silver. And why are we going to talk about silver? I really wanted to talk about gold, I'll be honest. Gold is all the rave, but I was like, you need to shoot this video. I've had this video on the back burner for a while now because it drives me nuts. And I seen a comment again tonight when I was watching another channel. Silver can't make you rich. It only protects your wealth. And that is totally BS in my opinion. And I'm going to prove it to you guys right now. And you guys can make your own decision. Now, I do ask that what I ask all the time usually, but I'm going to ask an extra thing today. If you enjoyed the video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, please take a quick minute, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out more than you know. What I'm going to ask you additionally is, if you think the reasoning that I'm going to state now on why silver can make you rich, then let me know. And if you disagree, let me know why. Because I'm curious to hear the arguments, because I always just read people's comments. It's kind of a one-way conversation. And then I put my videos out and I talk about this type of stuff. Now, also, I am mentioning in every video right now, if you would like to become a member, you can hit the join button for only $1.99 a month. Your comments will come straight to my phone. You'll get a special star next to your name. And on top of that, you will be entered into our free members only events that we do one every month, and we have prizes every month. Most months, pretty much every month, it's an ounce of silver. Different ounces. If you happen to win an ounce of silver for $1.99, you did really well. But here's why the odds are really good, because as of right now, there's only 41 members, which is pretty good odds. 1 in 41, you put in your $1.99, and you got a shot at winning a coin of your choice on the table. So pretty cool deal with that, I think. And I know a lot of people like to have their comments go straight to my phone, so I never miss them. Now, the coins on the table do change around periodically, but this is what I'll have this weekend when we do our next giveaway, which is 7 days away roughly, maybe 8, depending on which day I do it on. But with that being said, we're going to jump into the video because everybody's wondering, how is silver going to make you rich? So before I explain this, I have to explain a little bit of pricing. A little bit of things that most people know. Kind of like a silver dime will pretty much buy you, it doesn't have to be this silver dime, it can be any silver dime. The amount of silver in here will pretty much buy you a dozen eggs. Most people will agree a silver dime will get you a dozen eggs. Most people will agree a silver quarter will get you a gallon of gas, as it always has gotten you a gallon of gas. Does it fluctuate a little bit up and down? Yes. If gas goes up, then silver goes up, usually. Now, right now, everybody knows that precious metals is manipulated, and anybody that doubts that only needs to Google precious metals manipulation, JP Morgan, spoofs markets. You can Google any of these topics, and you're going to find out proven law cases where a couple of things have happened. Either companies have paid as high as $1 billion. I think it was $1 billion. Or was it 100 million? It might have been 100 million, but I almost want to say it was 997 million. But you can look it up. The cases are out there. It's not important how much they lost. Or people have even gone to jail for spoofing the markets and manipulating metals. Now, what that does is that pushes the price of precious metals in a downward direction. A lot of paper contracts pushes the price of metal in a downward direction. You can look at the US debt clock and see there is 400 paper ounces to every 1 ounce of physical silver. But when they asked about it, they simply stated it doesn't really matter because the truth of the matter is price will solve everything. And they're exactly right. If everybody starts claiming their silver, all they got to do is let the price go up, and there'll be a lot of people that would rather have cash. So now once we get that out of the way and discuss that, now the next thing I got to do, I got to explain to you a little bit about pricing that dozen eggs. Why does a dozen eggs in the US cost more than the Philippines or Mexico or other countries? The silver's the same price. If you look at the price of silver, it's pretty much an equivalent of $30 right now. If you buy it in the United States, it's $30. If you go to a country where they give you 10 of their currency for one of ours, well, then it's 300 of their currency. It still equivalates dollar for dollar. I can convert my $30 into 300 of something and then buy the ounce of silver over there. Give you an example. I was looking up silver in the Philippines, and I found it interesting that if I was to convert $30 into Filipino pesos, I'm going to get the exact amount, almost within a couple of pesos, to buy an ounce of silver. Now, I'm not going to get an American Silver Eagle. Obviously, on this side of the world, in the United States, American Silver Eagles are the dream coin. Everybody wants Silver Eagles. If I go on the other side of the world, surprisingly, even copper Lincoln pennies were popular. And I'm planning my trip overseas, so I've been looking at coin stores in the Philippines to see what is in high demand. They love American Silver Eagles. They love U.S. pennies, especially wheat pennies, especially the brand new pennies like 2023, 2024. Why? Because that hasn't made its way. Nobody brings rolls of pennies to the Philippines. Now, someone might say you're only allowed to bring so much, and you're right. I'm not going to be able to pay for my entire trip. However, if I can take a 50-cent roll of pennies over there and I'm going to get an equivalent to $5 worth of stuff, then that's a pretty cool deal. So, but where I'm going with this is if silver is dollar for dollar, the same amount everywhere in the world, gold is pretty much the same amount everywhere in the world, except the currencies change, with the exception of whether a country has a tax on something or no tax on it. Most states in the United States, we don't tax silver. Most states in the United States, we don't tax gold. But there are places in Europe that has a VAT tax or VAT tax, and that can be quite high. But we're just looking at the price of the items for a minute, okay? So now moving on, and this is all going to come together in one big ball at the end. You're going to see. If you look at a price of a dozen eggs in the United States, it's roughly $3. Now, if you're more, I'm sorry. I know they're $3 because I just bought a dozen eggs. I actually just went to the grocery store and did some shopping. A loaf of bread, I can pick up a loaf of bread for about $1. Let's see what other items they are here. I can pick up a pound of rice at my grocery store for about $1 roughly, maybe $1.50. But if you jump over to the Philippines, a dozen eggs, $3 in the United States, it's only $2 worth of Filipino pesos in the Philippines. A bag of rice is only 35 cents for a 1 pound bag of rice in the Philippines if you're paying in pesos. And the loaf of bread, which was $1 here, is only about 75 cents there. Well, think about that. Why is the prices different? If silver and gold is the same price everywhere around the world, then why are the items different, the everyday items? Because the truth of the matter is they don't have much money. They are a poor country. The United States is a rich country. I mean, I would classify us as a rich country, even though we're rich on debt. Our whole country operates on debt and free money. If we didn't have access to credit, stuff would dry up in this country real quick, and they know that. And that's why they kind of keep prices down. They keep the credit rolling out. They make it to where government's willing to secure certain types of loans, like school loans or house loans or different types of loans. The government's willing to back it to guarantee that the banks will get their money. But does the government really have the money to back all that stuff? We're in debt $35 trillion now, and there's no end in sight. But back to the topic at hand. If the prices of gold and silver are the same, we've established the prices of food and everyday items are different. Why are they different? Well, they're different because the U.S. is a richer country. We have more money. We can bid up the prices of stuff. The Philippines, they don't have credit. They're not carrying around credit cards like we do here. They don't have unlimited lines of credit. They pay as they go, essentially. They're a poor country. They're not going to loan someone that has no income, no nothing. They're not going to loan them money. Whereas here in the U.S., yeah, they'll give you a credit card. They'll take their chances that they can squeeze something out of you. So if the prices are different, what would happen for a minute if all of a sudden a silver dime buys you a dozen eggs, a silver quarter buys you a gallon of gas? If all of a sudden our credit dried up, let's just say for a minute the stock market collapsed. Let's just say for a minute cryptocurrencies collapsed. Let's just say for a minute credit cards had their biggest non-payment ever. People just letting their cards go. You know what? It's unsecured debt. Who cares? I've heard people say that. I actually heard someone tell me that. As long as I can get my house, that's the only thing I care about paying for, because if my credit cards go, who cares? I don't want to lose my car. I don't want to lose my house if I can avoid it. And that's a valid point to a certain point. You don't want to lose your house or your car. Those are necessities. Your credit card, you just use it on useless junk, essentially. You buy junk you don't need. So if you lose it and get set back a little bit, your credit, once you've got your house, does it really matter? I've heard people say that. And to a point, I can kind of agree with that. Is it the right thing to do? No. But does it make sense? Yes. So now when you look at that, if all that was to start happening here in the United States, people would not have extra money. They would start cutting back on what they buy. When people cut back on what they buy, the prices of the items that they buy come down. We've already established too in multiple videos that, and even the people that hate stackers and precious metals will say, y'all don't have any impact on precious metals. So we'll use their reasoning. Yeah, with a little amount that stackers buy probably doesn't have a huge impact on the overall price. It comes from industrial demand, and it comes from, in gold, it comes from monetary demand. However, I will go so far as to say some of the rich elites are buying silver, maybe under the guise of a business. That, like, take Elon Musk, if he wants to buy $20 million in silver tomorrow, he could probably get away and say it's for his battery company. With that all being said, we could see the price of stuff come down. I actually heard it kind of described one day as, it was weird. I want to say they called it the milkshake theory. I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it, but I want to say they explained it as that. Prices of everything could come down. But it's not a guarantee that the price of silver and gold will come down, as we've seen in the Philippines, and we've seen in multiple other poor countries. The gold and silver is fixed around the world. Even countries that are not part of us, not part of the G8, they still have to stick with those prices right now. Even though China and Russia dispute that the price of silver and gold is manipulated, the price of oil is manipulated, and all that, you know what? They don't really have a choice right now. They have to roll with it. That day could come to a change too, but we're not really discussing that in today's video. We're discussing the fact that silver can make you rich. So now, hold on though. I know some people are like, I thought it was going to tie up in the end. Here's where it ties in. If the economy in the United States collapses, you're in the United States, you held your money in silver as opposed to paper. A silver dime bought you a dozen eggs. A silver dime might buy you 2 dozen eggs after stuff collapses. That just made you essentially 2 times wealthier. Now, someone might be like, yeah, but you're not wealthy because you can get an extra dozen eggs. I'm not saying that people are solely going to have just a silver dime. There are people that have a whole lot more than a couple of silver dimes or a couple of silver quarters. Obviously, the amount of anything you put, the amount of energy you put into something is going to have an effect on the amount that you get in return. If you're sacrificing on a daily basis, spending money on nonsense, then you've got more money to put into silver and gold or other investments that you believe in. Personally, I think everything is high right now. I mean, sports cards are high, gas is high, food is high, rent is high, housing is high, the stock market's high, Bitcoin and cryptos are crazy high, especially since it's just popular right now. It's a fad. I find it interesting, Bitcoin has already dropped down to 58,000 now, and some people are still, it's a buying opportunity. Eventually, the buying opportunity wears off. I was a big fan of Shiba, and then I saw it just keep staircasing down. I had it early on, and I watched it plunge. And when it was down, I put more money into it, and I left it alone. And eventually, when it had that big jump, I made a nice profit, and I got out a lot of my money, and I kept a little bit in there. And then what happened a couple weeks ago? A couple weeks ago, I just said, you know what? Look, it just keeps slowing down, little by little, going down. Draining people, almost like a tax. Let's just take 2%. Literally, some of these cryptos are just losing like 4 or 5% a month. They're just bleeding out your money. And people don't see it. But the truth of the matter is, as the money dries up, as the prices come down on stuff and people don't have any money, so that's what's forcing the prices of stuff down, gold and silver can still have value. Now, someone out there can make an argument, I think gold and silver is going to come down, because we've heard this argument time and time again. A lot of people are still waiting for sub $20 gold, as we're now pushing even higher to 26. And some people waiting for $20 silver, which that blows my mind. If you were waiting for $26 silver, that doesn't blow my mind, because we got down to $26.45. But $20 silver, we haven't seen $20 silver since before, cough, cough. When we were down to $26.50, even when we were down to $27.50, some of us were buying. We recognize that as the dip. These opportunities are slowly fading away. Now, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen on Monday, because I wasn't going to talk about gold much today, but now that we got that kind of out of the way, take a look at gold today. Gold not only breaking through the 25, but not getting talked about on mainstream media at all. I didn't see it anywhere on the news. I didn't see it anywhere on CNBC. I listen when I'm in my truck. And ironically, I was in my truck most of my day today. You know, driving around, taking care of stuff, running errands, you know, and it wasn't anywhere. CNBC, they didn't talk about it. And that's got to lead me to wonder what's going on. Why are they not talking about it? They know it's going higher. We saw consistent buying all day long. If you look at the chart, it was at like a straight 45, well, I guess I should say 15-degree angle. I think you'd call it. No, I guess you'd call it a 45-degree angle. I'm not big on geometry, but I would say 45-degree angle. It literally was going upward on a nice steady slope all day. Only at one point did we have a big blip up and then a blip back down, and got right back in line and just kept tricking up again. A lot of people are going to miss the opportunity if they're waiting. I mean, I really do feel bad for the people that are waiting. I was a little nervous when we got down to 26.45, only because I'm big on when I place wagers with people. I don't place wagers unless I'm pretty firm. If you want to bet with me, then you've done really well. And I was a little nervous when it hit 26.45. And I was thankful that I placed that bet, because I wanted to buy when it was 28. But because I had that bet pending, I didn't put my big order in until it hit 27. I would have loved to have caught 26.50, but 27 was still better. And looking back at it, now that I got that 100-ounce box in my possession that I haven't opened yet, but I will be opening it online here. And now with silver well up there, with spot price at over $29, $30 could come as early as Monday or Sunday night. And here's the thing. Look at the gold futures. Gold futures sitting at $2,553. Now, someone might say, well, what do you mean? I thought the spot price was $25.12. Well, the spot price is, but the futures is what they're predicting the price to be in the near future. So they're predicting a higher gold price. And if gold goes up, you will probably see silver go up. I've seen some people leave comments on different videos today saying, man, if gold blows up and silver doesn't do anything, I'm going to be furious. I am done with silver altogether. And I said, be very careful with that, because once you give up on it, that's when it's going to run, and it's going to make you feel bad, and then you're going to want to get in at the higher price, and they know this. It's no coincidence. What's happening right now with gold is happening for a reason. Gold is going up because big money has to move hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars somewhere. They know what's coming. Can you imagine if someone put $1 billion in silver? It'd pretty much wipe out the silver market. I mean, it would just shoot it up astronomically. So they put their money into gold because no one wants to take that chance and all of a sudden get prosecuted like the Hunt brothers. But the Hunt brothers, that's a whole nother story too, because, I wasn't thinking that was the Hunt brothers weren't the only reason for silver going up, despite they were a big part of it, but nobody wants to be that guy. Look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett came out and said how he was buying tons of silver. What happened? A couple months later, he was prosecuted. They were investigating him for insider trading and all this other stuff. All of a sudden, he sells his silver position to the COMEX, is what's not proven, but a lot of people say that that's what it was, because where did the COMEX get all that silver that they all of a sudden had that big flush in? And then all of a sudden, Warren Buffett is saying, I wouldn't buy it now. It was a good deal then. It's not a good deal today. It's no longer a good deal. And on top of that, they no longer investigate him. All charges were dropped. So something to think about. Nobody wants to be that guy. And no one wants to get that scrutiny. But gold is where the big money's putting their money right now. And it's going to cause it to continue going up. The question is, are you going to be on the coattail, riding it up with them? Or are you going to be buying after everybody has bought in and it's already at the top? And I don't say that just as gold. I say that as gold and silver. So this is a little longer video than I wanted it to be. I apologize, but I thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video today, and leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you disagree with stuff I said, I like to hear it in the comments. Unless you're just going to say silver's for fools or gold's for fools, then I'm just going to laugh and say, yep, I'm more than happy taking it all. If you do want to become a member, like I said, I can't stress you enough. It's well worth the $1.99 for the membership. A lot of perks with it, and a chance to win a free ounce of silver. Can you imagine getting an ounce of silver off the desk right now for $1.99? It'd be pretty cool. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you guys again tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're going to be talking mostly just about gold. So I will see you guys again. Y'all have a great day. Take care, everybody. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you're still here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.